All right, ladies and gentlemen, so most of you already know by now that there is a new game that people are melting down over, and that game is called YASUKE Simulator. Now, this game is meant to be a complete counterpoint to Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's releasing the same exact day. The developers are called historically accurate developers, or what? Like, it's obviously a massive joke against Assassin's Creed Shadows, and rightfully so. However, there are some people that cannot see the joke. There are some people that refuse to be happy over the joke, usually women, by the way. And we have this example here. The gamer is extremely angry over the fact that people are propping up YASUKE Simulator as the savior of feudal Japan, which they, decided to make a ridiculous freaking article complaining about it, melting down about it, and we are going to be here talking about it. So let's get into this article, guys, from The Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So again, guys, The Gamer is melting down dramatically, all because YASUKE Simulator is basically trying to make a funny against their legendary Assassin's Creed Shadows. Nobody can make fun of YASUKE, our DEI savior. No way, we can't have that be a thing. Well, good old Rhiannon Bevan, of course, and like I said earlier in the video, it's always a woman usually, or a man that acts like one. We have a great example of what it means when somebody has no sense of humor. They say AI parody YASUKE Simulator, and again, mentioning the fact that it's made with AI, does anybody give a fuck? Does anybody care? Nobody cares that the fact that YASUKE Simulator is made with AI. Anybody who buys YASUKE Simulator is not buying it to get a great gaming experience. They're buying it to own you guys. That's basically it. And the ironic thing about these simulator games is they end up being great streaming content, much better than somebody actually playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. You'll get a lot more laughs, you get a lot more fun out of playing YASUKE Simulator than you probably would Shadows, at least from a streaming perspective. But anyway, they decide to note that AI parody YASUKE Simulator announces same launch date as Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, you read that headline and you think, oh, that's not that bad. They're not melting down. Well, just wait. They are. Assassin's Creed Shadows is launching on March 20th after multiple delays. However, it won't be the only game that lets you play as a samurai YASUKE that's launching on that day, as a very, very blatant ripoff is going live too. Wait, time out. How exactly is this game a ripoff, by the way? Like, how is it a ripoff? There's no way that you could claim this game is a ripoff. Why? Because it features a black protagonist in samurai armor. It doesn't even have anywhere near the same model or gameplay, for that matter. If you look at YASUKE Simulator, you're gonna realize very quickly that these are two different games. They're not anywhere close to being the same as Assassin's Creed Shadows. So you can't say it is a blatant ripoff. You're ridiculous. You can't say it's a ripoff just because it's the same launch date and YASUKE is a protagonist. That's insane. The creatively titled YASUKE Simulator has appeared on Steam, also launching on March 20th. Though its premise and product description, it's clearly trying to copy Assassin's Creed Shadows, even being set in the same year. However, wait, so does Assassin's Creed Shadows have complete control over feudal Japan and the years that it took place in? Like, what are you complaining about here? However, this one has been thrown together with generative AI. It has that same vibe as the many other knockoffs that appear on Steam. It just so happens to have the same release date as Assassin's Creed Shadows. One look at the trailer on the Steam page, and we can all see that YASUKE Simulator is a little more than some assets thrown together with some bizarre gameplay mechanics. Here, we see the player walk through basic environments with repeated assets and even pick up vehicles and guns. Nobody cares, bro. I want to make it very clear. Nobody cares with a video game like this about whether or not it's actually made properly or not. This is clearly meant to be a joke video game. It is meant to be a game that you boot up, you have fun with it for a few, and you stream it maybe, and that's basically it. Nobody's going to take the game super seriously to the point they're going to say, oh, look at all these repeated assets. That's the point. We don't care. It's a joke. Those have been crying, which, by the way, I find it amazing that you're saying we are crying about legitimate concerns regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows, and yet here you are crying about an AI video game that's made to be a joke. But here we are anyway. Since it was revealed that YASUKE would be one of the player characters, appeared to think that this is a big own against Ubisoft. It's not, but it is a hilarious one, right? We know for a fact that Ubisoft doesn't need a big own against them because they're already dying as a company. Everybody knows that, except you guys, apparently. So Ubisoft is going to get owned one way or another, and it doesn't have to do with this game. They're going to get owned when they have to sell their company because they've been effing around and finding out for God knows how long now. But anyway, while there is a chance that someone really went to this much effort to attack Assassin's Creed for featuring a black samurai, especially with the dog whistly dev name history accurate developers, it's not entirely clear what the joke is. After all, it looks just like any number of poorly thrown together ripoffs that appear on marketplaces. But if your idea of owning Ubisoft is to spend money on shovelware, be my guest, I suppose. Again, you may not see the joke because I think anything that goes against DEI is not a joke to you, right? You take it so seriously, it's your entire life. The virtue signal is your entire life. As a urinalist, this is what you live for. You live to be able to tell black people that you're sorry for being above them, and you'll do everything you can to try to uplift them, because without you, they won't be able to do anything. That's essentially your mindset, and I get that, but this is a massive joke against Ubisoft. It's a hilarious joke against the game, and to be honest with you, it'll be even funnier if this game ends up having a higher concurrent player account compared to Assassin's Creed Shadows, but, you know, I highly doubt it because it's just not one of those games. In any case, the last we heard from Ubisoft, which, by the way, great job, Miss Journalist. You were so angry over at, complaining about YASUKE Simulator that you fucking misspelled Ubisoft, you retard, is that Shadows pre-orders are solid compared to Odyssey, which is the second most successful entry in this series. The studio also said to be confident that it won't be hit with another delay, meaning we should be playing it this time next month. Now, I want you to understand something. They have also said, by the way, that Star Wars Outlaws had solid pre-orders. They also said, by the way, that Skull and Bones has solid pre-orders. They also said, by the way, that X-Defiant was perfectly fine and nothing's wrong with the game, and they have a solid player base, keyword solid, that they are going to be able to utilize to try to push the game forward. And the game died. And Star Wars Outlaws died. And Skull and Bones died. So again, you really sit up here and you try to believe Ubisoft whenever they say, well, Ubisoft said that the pre-orders are solid, so you chuds are just lying. Bro, how many times do you need to be lied to your face to realize that you should probably be skeptical about Ubisoft using words like pre-orders are solid, right? Because very clearly, they're not exactly in it to tell the truth. They're not trying to tell you exactly what's going on with their video games, especially to their investors. They're not trying to tell the truth to them, considering that people are backing out of investing in Ubisoft every single day. So this company is an absolute joke, and you are getting angry over a video game being made as a joke towards a video game being made by a joke company. It's just insane to me. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, YASUKE Simulator, a clear joke game that is meant to make fun over a situation that is actually a serious thing, is going to be releasing on March 20th, and I highly implore you check it out. I'm not going to tell you whether or not to buy it or not, because like the article says, it is essentially shovelware for the most part. It's not meant to be a serious game, but if you're looking for laughs, if you're looking for jokes, and if you want to own Ubisoft in even the smallest way possible by giving this game a higher player count, consider checking it out. I don't think they announced the price yet. Hopefully it's cheap. It should be cheap, but most likely it won't be because they're going to try to capitalize, but hopefully it is cheap and you can purchase it and boot it up and play that instead of Assassin's Creed Shadows on March 20th. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.